first? Who's up who? The guy up first. Who? The guy first base. Who? The guy first. Who is on first? What are you asking me for? I'm asking you.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Who's on First. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tim Ellebrook. That is Brian Keplinger, and that is Michael Ramsey. And we are really excited to talk some baseball. How are you guys doing?
Hey, I'm good. If I can get out of this malaise of having to watch some very difficult baseball with St. Louis right now, but
that's easy, man. You just got to pick another team.
Oh man, I mean, I'm hanging in. I'm watching all the games.
I am too.
But at the same time, I can't say I'm at the point now where it's like I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, not necessarily in the good way, just like when's the home run going to happen, going to be given up by a pitcher.
Yeah,
every time.
This is my favorite time of year because I love college football as well.
Yeah.
So watching baseball and college football happening at the same time is just such a blast.
Yeah. And I mean, NFL starts this week too. It is a really great time of the year for sports in general because it's a big convergence of the big ones.
We almost got hockey back too. I mean, that'll be here before you know it.
The weather is also shifting, at least in the Midwest. I'm sure it's getting cooler and on the coast and everything. But before we get started, do me a favor, everybody that's listening, follow us on X, YouTube at WOFBB Podcast. Give us a comment. We really appreciate it. Today is end of the month, beginning of the month. We're going to hit all of the players of the month for the AL and the NL. I think we got a good small conversation to pair at the end about the standings and how it's been adjusted. So we're going to try and roll through this. It has been an interesting month, and one comment I will make is I was really excited to see that it wasn't the normal standard
100%
always
agree.
The big superstars that are at the Judge is not on any of my list whatsoever.
No, not on mine
close.
either.
And
so
as much as I love him as a player and he's fun, it's cool to see other players that have had a good month that have come up. Shout out, there's a couple Cardinals on there, just as honorable mentions though. They're not that good enough.
I'm just not happy with them, so I said no.
That is totally fine. All right, let's start off. We'll hit with the position players of the month on the AL side. So Brian, start us off.
All right, so I'm gonna start honorable mention here, and this is gonna sound like maybe a low blow, but I put Bo Bichette as an honorable mention just because I have not followed Toronto hardly at all.
Yep.
If I'm being honest, I mean. I've kept up with where they are in the standings and would see highlights here and there. But the month he put together, a 367 average, 3 home runs, 19 RBIs, a 1-2 WAR, I was like, maybe that's why they're playing so well.
Yeah.
It can't hurt, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I landed with that. Do you want me to roll all 3?
No, let's do honorable mentions real quick because
okay.
I have an ad.
Yeah, my honorable mention, I couldn't put him on my actual list because he only played half the month, but George Springer was great when he returned.
Yeah, that's the only thing that held me off from putting him on.
Yeah,
was just
I just put him on there just because his numbers were so good.
Yeah.
For the short time that he did play. I think he played about 14 games. And then I actually put 2 rookies on there that I feel like had to be called out was Roman Anthony and Jacob Wilson. Wilson coming back from the injury, came back and looked like he did early in the year. And then Roman Anthony had some really big swings throughout the month.
Yeah, he sure did.
And really seems to be settling in that Boston is so excited right now.
Yeah. So I'm actually in the camp with Brian. Bichette is my honorable mention. He actually was going to go on my number 3 slot, but the thing that kept me away from it, his defensive WAR is in a negative slot. And in my mind, these players are all around good players, especially the 3 on my list.
Sure.
But the good thing that also stuck out to me is he has the best. I'm sorry. Nope. Never mind. I was wrong. Oh, yeah. I'm right. I was looking at walk percentage, not K percentage.
Never mind,
he has
I'm right.
the lowest K percentage of strikeout rate of everybody on my list. So I was like, and he is having a great season. But it is an interesting thought with Toronto as a whole that he is your best player of the month and nobody else was on the list. Like, nobody was in the top 50 from Toronto. So I think that's interesting. Doesn't really matter, though. Hit us with your number 3, Brian.
So my number 3, I ended up, and I think some of this is I'm still kind of just a little bit in shock with Soderstrom from the
fair.
Athletics.
Fair.
I mean, he dipped down a little bit in the month of August, but still was not bad on any level. So that kind of is what put him at that number 3 spot for me. Obviously, he's not going to get to that top spot, but you know, like I said, I looked at Springer and I really wanted to give him the nod there because I mean, even in the short 14 games that he had, I mean,
he was phenomenal.
Dude's been swinging, but for me, like you got guys that are playing close to the full month, 27 games, doing what they're doing.
True.
And for Soderstrom, I mean, 4 home runs, 17 RBIs, still hitting well above 300, right around 330 for the month. I mean, he's it's one of those things. It's like, it's funny to watch because you've got Kurtz there. And then you've also got Wilson there that are doing their thing, and he's like almost overshadowed to a degree a little bit. Right. And so it's like, and then obviously watching them today, I know this isn't August. We're past that point, but like the Athletics are going to be a fun team.
They're going to be
if they can
force in a
figure
couple
out
years.
how to just keep some of these key players, when they get to Vegas, they're going to make some noise in the West.
I agree. I agree. For me, it was Bichette. I actually put him on my list. Toronto's kind of kept pace where they've been. The only problem they have is obviously Boston's getting really hot. So,
Right.
But Bichette, 367 average for the month. That really
The
pops
best
off
average of the
for
month.
me.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't
Yeah.
close outside of Springer, of course.
Right.
I think there was about 40 point difference between him and the next closest. On base percentage of 425. Love that. OPS would have loved to see it just slightly higher, just because of the rest of his numbers. But that's why I put Bichette there.
Yeah, I think the only reason why that kind of kept him off for me, honestly, was the defensive side. Not that he's
Totally
a bad
understand.
defensive player, but some of these other players that are going to show up, they're that dual threat.
It'd be interesting to see what his free agent market or even the after the season market's going to be, knowing that like defensively he's average,
Right.
But every year outside of basically last year, the guy is very close to leading the league in hits. Very consistent hitter.
I think the Yankees would take him over
So,
Volpe right now.
Well, that's. I think they'd take it that trash can that Astros were beating on back.
There's 29 other shortstops. I'm sure they would take over him too.
Probably more than that. A bunch of guys down in the minors too.
I might have a better
going
shot
through
at
it.
shortstop there. I don't even have an arm anymore.
It's been brutal.
I could roll it over there.
You underhanded and still gonna make it there before.
I don't know if I've ever seen a guy who was a Gold Glover within 2 years fold so badly.
Dude, he's leading
so
the league
mental.
in errors.
It's so
all-
mental.
100%.
It is
It's
so
so
mental.
And you
It's
just hope he
crazy.
can get it back because,
Right.
I mean, at his age, obviously he's a guy they'd love to build around. And if he's got the yips, which is
Man.
highly potential.
It's crazy
Yikes.
because it's so mental in that position, but he's still hitting. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not great. It's decent, but he's
But
still
right.
hitting homers. If you got the yips, you're not hitting.
Right. Who was
hitting
it for
like
the
that.
Nationals? Was it Zimmerman? Ryan Zimmerman that
Yeah.
went through that same thing at
Yeah.
third base with them where it was like all of a sudden he just could not throw the ball, but he was such a prolific bat
Yep.
Yeah.
that they had to keep putting him out there. And it was like, it was a train wreck because he just literally could not throw to first base.
Fact.
It's crazy. Yeah. My number 3 is actually Roman Anthony.
Okay.
That might be a little bit of a homerish take, and that's fine.
He had a great.
He had a fantastic month. I was actually trying to decide between Anthony and Langford because Langford's also had a killer month. But in my rules for this pick, everybody had to have a 300 average or better.
Sure.
Okay.
And Langford dipped below it. He also had the highest K percentage of anybody that could be on the list.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. He's a decent defender. He's a fine defender. His bat is blown up after you got paid all that money. 304 average. 216 ISO clip, which I think is pretty awesome. Especially for 23 years old.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love to have that with some of our 23-year-olders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just a great season. He's also on another list of mine as well, but he's having a great season. Had a great month of August as well. And the last thing I'll add to it, 149 WRC plus, which is the lowest of my list.
All right.
Hit us with the number 2.
So number 2 for me, it was J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez, Seattle. 321, 7 home runs, 22 RBIs, a 1-4 WAR because, I mean, we know his defense plays regardless of him hitting.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think his offense making that turn, especially in this month, is really setting Seattle up well. I mean, we know what the dumper's going to do. We know that Suarez is still doing his thing, maybe not at the same clip he was when he was in Arizona, but, I mean, he's still got that pop. And so when you can add J-Ram or J-Rod into that, it just makes it better. And so for me, just watching him this month kind of break out on that, I kind of hope it stays around because if there's anybody that I want to see kind of really maybe start to rival Houston a little bit on that west side, I'd like to see Seattle really kind of maybe start to push them a little bit to see kind of a rivalry maybe start.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got, obviously we talked some episodes back about their pipeline's pretty strong. They obviously have a ton of pitching and the dumper MVP. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if Julio Rodriguez can keep that pace. Seattle should be a legitimate threat in the West.
And I would say this is what he's supposed to be. Like,
correct.
This is why they gave him all of that money.
Correct. No, I actually, for all the reasons you just said, that's why I had Rodriguez there as well. He has been a big part of helping Cal, I think, in the second half of the season, kind of keep doing what he's doing. Because I think it would have been super easy for Cal to start feeling that pressure, even though Judge went down, and I think that really helped Cal kind of tighten up that race a lot. But it's been nice for him not to have to carry that whole load. And then obviously the pickup of Naylor's been huge. Obviously Suarez, you're hoping they can get that average up some.
Right.
But Naylor, I mean, the guy's stealing bases, the guy's getting on base. So,
well, and I think that's been the big thing for the dumper as well, is now he has a little bit more protection.
Yep.
And when Rodriguez is back to doing that, it only enhances what he can do no matter where he's positioned around him, whether they want to put him behind the dumper or front of him, because again, you start getting people on base in front, you cannot walk him, you have to pitch to him, and if you have protection behind him, you can't pitch around him because it's going to hurt you.
Right.
So
where's the dumper in the lineup usually? Is he number 2 or 3?
Most of the time, I think they've had him at the 3-4
spot.
Because Rosarena, I feel like, is one of the underrated,
unmentioned
guys in their season, because he's having. It's not like a superstar, but like solid piece that every team and every superstar needs.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I think he's going to thrive almost back to kind of like the Rays days in the playoffs.
Yeah,
because eyeballs aren't going to be solely focused on him like they were. When they picked him up from Tampa Bay.
True.
So J-Rod was also my number 3. A negative that stood out to me in it was the 3.5% walk rate. That's crazy low.
Yeah.
Those are Mason Wynn numbers, which I'm a big Mason Wynn fan. But he is the type of guy that's only going to hit his way on. Striking out 19.1%. 357 OBP as well. But he has had a really solid month, and it's good to see him getting those after pretty much like a season and a half of mid the last year and a half or so. All right, hit us with the number 1, which I think we all have the same person.
I think so too, now that I'm sitting here looking at everybody. But I mean, you can't doubt it. I think for me, it's Bobby Witt and Kansas City, just what he was able to do. I think what stood out to me more is not just the average. The defense is there, obviously, but when you look at it, 22 runs scored and then 6 stolen bases in the month.
Yep.
I mean, you're basically just underscoring at least a run a game for your team. And that's, I mean, him being up towards the top of the lineup, you need that. And I think it's only helped. I mean, some of the good in it is that the Pasquatch has started to hit a little bit more too.
Yep.
So that's been a help to Kansas City. But, like, I mean, they've locked this guy up, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this is what he's supposed to be from the beginning of the season to the end.
Yep.
And I think, like, this is what you hope your shortstop is going to be
Right.
no matter what. I mean, as a Cardinal fan, this is what we hope Mason Wynn turns into, is this
First
type
two
of
seasons
player.
have been identical. I'm just saying.
If he comes up short, but not that short, I don't think you can be too upset because I think Witt has everything it takes to be that superstar, MVP type candidate. I don't know that Wynn has that. No offense to Wynn. I think he's a very, very solid player. But yeah, like
That's
you
just
said,
a
this is
Cubs fan
exactly.
speaking.
Well,
That's so true.
Just like,
maybe so. But
That's payback for all the bad things we've said about Shaw.
yeah,
right.
they're eating their words now.
Hey, I said he was going to be Rookie of the Year. That was
That's
my
true.
pick, but he's not going to quite make it there.
Bobby Witt is it's super nice to see him and J Rod kind of get going because these were the two guys really. If you looked probably 4 or 5 years ago that you looked at the teams and you're like, those two guys definitely have that it factor. And if you're both these teams, obviously you're coming into a crucial part of the season. These are the two guys that could carry you. Obviously, Cal Raleigh's having a phenomenal year for Seattle, but they're the ones that could have that big impact. And, like you said, Witt is basically scoring a run by himself every single game right now. If you can get a couple other guys around, Kansas City,
they're going to be good.
There's a chance to make a run, still to get the playoffs. But moving forward, like I kind of thought they would be potentially this year, the Kansas City team's a lot like the Athletics, that they're going to be a force within the next couple of years.
Yeah, but the only thing, their farm system's really bad. It's pretty drained.
It's not going to matter if you got Bobby Witt.
Yeah, but who are you going to put around him, right?
That's true.
They got a lot of decent young players that are already up, though. And if Pags truly ends up being what you
Cags back, Caglione and Pasquantino.
Is Caglione hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he hasn't been playing. But, obviously I think there's potential there. I think pitching's going to be a big deal for them moving forward. For me, really, Bobby Witt, I just want him to get right so when the WBC comes around, he's on fire.
Yeah,
right.
We got the best shortstop in baseball.
100%
on Team
right.
USA.
And he played in the last one, and he was great.
Yeah,
I mean, he was only a pinch hitter or a sub. He was never a starter. He was great.
Well, and there were so many questions. It's like, does he really deserve to be there? And then the way he played, it's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, he comes in last year, and everybody's like, that's why this kid was on the team.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt was my pick as well. Something that's really interesting is, and I feel like this happens with tons of different players, but the era in which you play and is where you slot in the MVP or makes you gets you the MVPs, because now he's in the same league as Aaron Judge, who is on historical offensive pace, who he's never going to be able to beat. That's not his game.
Right.
But if he wasn't there, how many MVPs would he have? You know what I'm saying? Or until Judge falls off.
Right.
Well, that's the big piece. Judge is significantly older than Bobby Witt is. So, I mean, how many more years of Judge at the pace that he's been at over the last few years, can he keep up? Obviously, I hope he keeps going for another 10 years like this, but is that realistic? Probably not.
Right. I think he gets 1 to 2 in the course of his career, but I think it's for players like him, it's always going to be a bit more challenging because he does a little bit of everything well. He doesn't necessarily excel in the home run category. Sure, he can. So he's got to do and he's doing it. Don't get me wrong. Again, to your point, what Aaron Judge is doing is historic, and that's what's getting him out front. It's the same with the dumper this year. What he's doing is historic, and so it's overshadowing the greatness of Bobby Witt right now. But if he continues to hit above 300, 20 to 25 home runs, stealing 50 to 60
it's
bases.
a complete 5-tool.
Right. He's going to get a couple MVPs.
An Iron Man of some sorts.
Right.
He's not a 162, but he's 150 plus.
Yeah.
Right.
And that matters a lot.
Yeah. Posting. And at shortstop.
I mean, how many of these guys that you're excited when they're playing 130, 140 games these days? 150 at a superstar? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. You just, it's going to be one of those that's going to be fun to watch because you're going to have some of these other guys that are going to show up and they're going to hit 50, 60 home runs. And it's going to just overshadow a little bit of what Bobby's doing. Not from a baseball standpoint, but in the MVP conversations.
Yeah. Okay. break for a second. Let's talk about that. So take Judge out of the equation, which I know we can't because it's not realistic.
Right.
But let's take Kyle Schwarber. If Kyle Schwarber and Bobby Witt were in the same league and Bobby Witt had a 30-30 season last year, Schwarber's going to have potentially 60 home runs.
Yeah.
DH only.
Yeah.
Who wins MVP?
Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think
he'll
so
get the pick
because
Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
30 home runs, 50, 40,
it just
50
happens
steals,
that way. Like
300 average.
you start touching I know
8 to 10 WAR a year.
Right, but you start touching history in the 60+ home run category, and it catapults you.
But with an average of 210.
Doesn't matter anymore.
I know, but still.
I hate it. There's part of me inside that kind of crawls back and shudders when I say it.
Yeah.
Because I think there needs to be more attention given to players like Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
I mean, Francisco Lindor almost got there last year.
Yeah.
In the sense with the year that he had. But I mean, when you look at it on paper, he was the more valuable player overall last year in the National League. Still didn't win the MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's why I took Ohtani out of the situation because he had a 50-50 season, which in and of itself is pretty historic.
Right.
Or not pretty historic.
It is.
It is historic.
Yeah,
Last
true.
time something close to that was Barry Bonds.
Right.
This year, it wouldn't surprise me if he's a lock, even with the Schwarber conversation, because he can pitch too. And there's only one person that could do that. There's going to be another guy that's going to hit 60 home runs.
Yeah, but I mean,
DH position.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know that Ohtani's a lock this year.
I don't think so.
I think Schwarber's creeping up on him a lot more than people want to really talk about.
And I think if San Diego can win that division, I think that'll keep Ohtani from winning I think because that's going to matter to the national media.
Let's save that conversation because when I have it afterwards. My pick was Bobby Witt as well for all of the same reasons. So let's jump to the starters for the AL. So any honorable mentions?
I just have one honorable mention. I mean, there's a number of players
There's a lot
on
of
the
pretty
list
solid
that,
ones.
but I think the honorable mention for me, and I'll just stick with just the one, and then I'll go to my actual pitcher of the month, starting pitcher of the month. The honorable mention is Brian Wu from Seattle. I mean, 31 innings pitched, 2.27 ERA. He was at 11 K per 9, just under 1 WAR. And WAR is a difficult stat for a starting pitcher just because, they're only going out once every 5th day, those type of things. But I mean, what he was able to do and really kind of, when you talk about the pitchers like Gilbert and Kirby that get all the limelight there, for him to come in this year and do what he's been doing, and then especially in the month of August really just coincide with some of those offensive players getting hot, just really it kind of excites me about Seattle.
I think also, you guys would be able to correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's got the most quality starts of a pitcher for the first 3 seasons of a career or something like that.
I don't know if it's it's highly possible. I don't know that off the top of my head.
I'll look it up while you guys are
but
talking. There's some sort of quality start
he's been
record.
on such a heater this entire year. Like he said, he's been the bright surprise in that pitching rotation. You thought this guy was surefire, probably your 4 or 5, and he's pitched well enough to be probably at least your 2 in that rotation this year. So I had him. I also had Brian Bello, from Boston as well.
Big turnaround.
He kind of heard me, I guess, talking about how
Yeah.
great he was a few years back. He's had a very nice month as well. I think he had a .95 WHIP, 2.27 ERA as well. Strikeouts not as high as some of the other guys, but I can take that whenever he's winning his games, and they did win. Most of the games he pitched. So, I'd say both those guys, you can't go wrong, and both those guys could be huge in October. So,
New York may have found somebody too in that rookie that they have. We can talk about him later. No, this is the new kid they have. Cam.
The Mets.
No. He's talking the Yankees. Yeah, I know who you. I actually have him on my list.
Yeah, me too. Down later, so we'll talk about him,
okay.
But I mean, the only reason why I kind of kept him out was because obviously I had him on another list. But But yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, Hunter Brown's
Obviously.
still shoving. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could talk about a lot of pitchers, but who did you have?
So just some honorable mentions real quick. Hunter Brown is honorable mention for me, and Michael Wacha
Yeah.
for me. What kept Wacha off my list was the K per 9 is stupid low,
Right,
5.5, which tells me, and his BABIP confirms that he's getting really lucky. But even with the luck, what he's doing for the month is pretty good.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Right. Hey, you know what surprised me, though? Like,
the
we didn't talk
2025
about
St. Louis
Crochet
Cardinals.
or Scooble for this month. Like, Yet? You want to talk about them later, but
What's your number 3?
I don't have a number 3. I told you I just had just a couple that I threw out there.
Okay.
I can give you.
Okay.
But I mean, you guys
Okay.
keep spitting out
Yeah.
who you have.
What's your number 3?
Scoo was my 3 because outside of the athletic start, he was absolute nails.
Yes.
And I would argue that he was nails in that game too. His team cost him that
Yes.
game.
He only came away with like 2 earned runs.
Correct. He pitched really well in a minor league ballpark.
Yes.
His team cost him the game, but
I think official
45
scoring helped him out.
strikeouts. 45
Oh, I know.
strikeouts was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yes.
So that's why I had him, and he still had under a 1 whip as well. So Scooble still made my
too soon.
list.
I gotta say
Dang
that the replay of that granny when it happens,
And his face.
yeah,
Yeah.
his
So
facial expression
comical.
was like, oh, I did it.
And there it was.
So my number 3 is Gary Crochet. The reason that Scooball would have been an honorable mention, I didn't think about that, but
He
he's
loves
got-
him some
Crochet
crochet.
made
He
it.
just wants it because he wants Boston
I'm a little
so
bit of a
bad.
strikeout nerd, but he's got the highest K per 9
He
of
does. He
the
does.
month. So his ERA is pretty mid for the season. FIP's better, but yeah, that 11.32 strikeout per 9 is really nice. He's also got the most innings, I believe. Oh no, he doesn't. Never mind. There's
No.
another person that does.
Yeah.
Who I'm assuming is probably number 1 on our list. So you don't have any others?
Nope.
Okay.
I just went straight to it.
I had
because of that.
number 2 was actually
Go.
the kid from New York.
Okay.
For me, Cam.
Okay. Is it Schlittler? Schlittler?
Lightler? Yeah, I don't know.
Not sure.
Yeah. we could be
SCH.
butchering it.
Correct.
It is. It is.
SCH.
Well, guess we're going to have to
Yes.
watch more Yankees games, guys. The national media would love that. But kid had 39 strikeouts in the month. He had a .98 whip with an average against the kid at 186.
And that's a rookie.
And that's a rookie.
That's a rookie.
And a Yankees team that needed wins big time. Now, given he was, I think, 1-1 in 6 starts.
Yes.
But that's not on him. Obviously, that's on the rest of the team's got to
Right.
show up too. But when you're getting that out of your rookie and, Rodon and some of these other guys can, if they can hold their own, huge to be able to have that coming into September. And they're sitting, teetering right on whether they're going to be in or not. So that's big to have that kid sitting there.
Yeah.
So my number 2 was Trevor Rogers, actually, which I would assume is probably Michael's number 1.
It is.
And I would think it would have been your number 1. The reason
We'll
being,
see. We'll see.
My number 1 is, never mind. He's had a great comeback.
Yeah.
He is pitching out of his mind. Has the most innings, which I'm assuming, Brian, you're going to go over. Lowest ERA of everybody in the month. Highest WAR. His BABIP's low, so it's not like he's getting lucky. He's just pitching fantastic. Brian?
Yeah, I mean, my number 1 is going to be Trevor Rogers from Baltimore. I mean, I think a lot of it's what you said. I'm kind of a sucker for like that comeback story notion. I actually liked him when he was in Miami.
Yep.
And would have loved to seen, the Cardinals actually make a play for him.
Yeah.
Now it could be vastly different because apparently when we get a pitcher, they just fall apart. So maybe it's good that he's
Busch
in
Stadium,
Baltimore.
right?
Right. I don't know. It's supposed to be a pitcher-friendly
Yeah, I
ballpark,
know.
but it wasn't today. That's for sure. At least not for our pitcher. But yeah, I mean, obviously K per 9's not real high with him, But the simple fact that he had 42 innings pitched, so he's getting deep into the game. I mean, you're talking in 6 starts, so he's averaging 7 innings through the course of the month. And that, to me, was, kind of what locked him in at the number 1 for me. I mean, obviously, it's just fun to have somebody different to talk about that was really kind of dominant this month. And so I actually watched a couple of those starts because I knew he was kind of getting on that roll, and so it's neat to watch.
It's Rogers. I mean, it wasn't even close for basically everything Brian just said, but also his whip to point it out was 0.86. Just stupid. I mean, the guy's been great.
For a starter, that's ridiculous.
You're looking here with Baltimore. If they hadn't come out of the blocks so slow, they probably would have been sitting in the same boat as a lot of these teams as potential playoff contenders. They're obviously most likely going to miss out at this point just because of how badly they started. But Baltimore's going to finish the year up a lot like Tampa Bay did last year. Probably miss it by only a week or something. And Rodgers is a huge part of that because of the year of the month and stuff like that.
For a pitcher,
right? Yeah,
1-9 WAR for a pitcher.
Bobby Witt had 1-8.
We're talking,
he had a 1-8. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we're talking about from a pitcher. Is 1-9. I mean. That's ridiculous.
As a shortstop. So, for him to be able to do that for sure. So, for me, the reason these are not flipped, Brian Wu is my number 1 for the year. The 1108 K per 9 is stuck out to me. But the quality start thing that we were talking about. So, he just broke the record for most quality starts in, consecutive quality starts.
Okay.
At 24. The previous record was 23. So he's consistently
getting into 6th, 7th inning.
Now, that's not an August month thing, obviously, because you can't do 24 starts in the month of August.
If he is, then we need to sign him to an extremely long-term deal. Right.
Every day.
Right.
But the month in and of its own, the 11.9 K per 9, 31.2 innings, 2.27 ERA, on top of the quality start thing, and hitting that record in the month of August is what solidified me. He has been steady and solid. And for me, that was why
we could have traded Gorman and got him straight up.
We 100% could have.
But again, that doesn't mean he'd have been good with us.
We could have gotten him and Gilbert. I did on an OTP. All right, let's roll through real quick. We got the rookies and the relief pitchers. So, relief pitcher of the month.
Okay, so this was tough for me because I really liked what Brian Abreu was doing, and then also Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
Like both of those guys really, had some tremendous month. For that, but I ended up settling for Detroit's Kyle Finnegan. I mean, one had the most innings in relief work of those guys. Didn't give up a run, almost a 12 K per 9. I know that's inflated when it comes to relievers, just because they're not working as many innings. But Detroit, we saw them; they were struggling there for a little bit coming into the month, and it seems like they've at least stabilized and righted the ship a little bit and back to kind of taking the Central back over.
We could have gotten Kyle Finnegan too.
Finnegan wasn't that expensive.
It was not at all. You could too. Cubbies could have too.
Yeah. I had Finnegan on my list. More of an honorable mention. It was Chapman for me. Dude's been absolutely unbeligeable.
Got paid for it too. Got that extension. So
and, honestly, he's a guy that I looked at 5 years ago, and I'm like, he's about done.
Ageless wonder, baby.
But
for real though.
Dude started working out like crazy, and now he is just absolute gem out there. I mean, I want to say he was going 46 innings or something straight without even giving up a hit.
Yep.
That's just insane. He had a .09 whip. That's just
stupid.
There's nothing that comes even close to that for me. I think the next closest guy was Yeah, nowhere close. So it's not
No,
close. So,
nobody's there.
yes, Chapman.
My honorable mentions were Finnegan and Abreu, but Chapman is mine as well. The only reason Finnegan was close, but it really was the hits. The
I understand
hitlessness
that.
of Chapman. Finnegan's only had 3 hits in the month, which is still
right.
What a bum. He gave us 3 whole hits.
3 hits. Come on. Jeez.
But Chapman going on an entire month without a hit is stupid.
Yeah. And
all of them
his
sitting
age.
high 11s.
I mean, his age, like, I'm impressed.
He's
Like,
got the highest velocity of all the 3 of those too.
Right.
I believe, he's got the highest average fastball of the 3 of them too. His is 97.9. Bray's 97.4. Dude. Now, it's funny you mentioned the extension because I was thinking, they need to wait until they see him in the playoffs before they give him that money because.
I mean,
as long as he doesn't have to go up against Altuve, he'll be fine.
Right.
Can you imagine? It'd be really funny. Boston and the Yankees end up facing each other in the playoffs, and he just like strikes out the side every relief outing he's in against the Yankees in the
amazing.
playoffs, and everybody's like, "What?"
I would love to see Boston and Houston play. And how fun would it be to go and just wear a trash can?
That would be really
and
funny.
just beat the trash can.
As your like costume.
Yeah, as your costume
really
while you're playing. Especially when Altuve comes up.
Correct.
Because that would just make so many people mad.
Well,
but
Correa's
I love it.
back too now.
I know. So it'd be a blast to go to a game there.
That's gonna pop up. When
100%.
Especially since he's back.
Yeah.
So let's finish out with the rookie of the month for the AL side.
Okay, so for me, I'll just go quick over a couple people I wanted to mention. Nick Kurtz, I still want to mention because, dude's still doing some crazy things. And then, obviously, as I said, Cam Schlittler,
whatever that
his
kid's
last
name
is.
Cam S.
Yeah.
Yeah. He deserves to be on this list. He
Agreed.
almost got to that point for me, but I think I settled on, and you mentioned him earlier, Tim, I think Roman Anthony deserves player of the month for what he's done.
Yep.
And so I ended up just landing there. For a lot what you said earlier in the podcast. I mean, he's really kind of stabilized things for Boston. And it's funny to say that for a rookie because those first couple of weeks, it did not look too good.
Yeah.
But it just goes to point. Sometimes just letting them play through it really does matter.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have found something in him, and I hope he continues to do it.
Yeah.
Agreed. So I would have shouted out the same guys. I have to shout out one other guy because he's from about 30 minutes from my hometown. Colson Montgomery has been.
Yeah.
Average is terrible. He's batting about 200 in the last month. But the kid hit 10 home runs last month and had 20 RBIs. And for a bad White Sox team, the fact that they had any runners on for him is kind of a miracle.
Yeah.
And 10 home runs is not really what they expected out of him in a month. He may be there may be more upside power-wise from him than a lot of people realized.
Yeah.
So, obviously you want to see that average go up quite a bit. But I had to shout him out. And then Anthony for me as well. It's just he's really settled in. And if Boston's going to make a splash, it's going to be because Roman, Anthony, and some of these other guys have come together and got going. Along with your boy, Steven Matz.
He has, man.
Yeah, he had to be shouted out as well. But Roman Anthony is going to – he just screams the type of guy that's like big October, type of thing. It's just like he's got that clout.
That home run when they played the Yankees, when it was, how clutch it was.
That gave me
his
October
reaction
vibes.
to it, and I was like, whoa, this kid knows what it's all about.
He may have that it. Yeah, he may have it.
So for me, the honorable mentions, Montgomery was, but Kyle Teal is also an honorable mention.
Okay.
Something kind of crazy to think. He's had a really good month. He's played 24 games where everybody else is like 27, 28. So I'm going to be as a catcher. But what's crazy for me, Roman Anthony is my pick. They could both be on the same team if it wasn't for Garrett Crochet, which Boston needed Crochet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a win-win, I think, on the trade.
Hitting the way he does makes me think, oh, man, because the Red Sox need a catcher really bad. That's good. I'm forgetting his name. Who's their current catcher? It's Navarez, is that his name? He's decent,
Okay.
but he's starting to fall off.
Yeah.
And I'm just imagining Teal would be such a good spot.
Okay.
to have.
Starting
But, I mean,
pitching is going to matter
yeah.
a whole lot more than.
But yeah, Roman Anthony is my second pick, and so he's got 2 on my list. All right, we'll jump into the National League, but real quick, just want to remind you guys, please follow us on Twitter at WOFBB Podcast and on YouTube.
The plead.
Please, we would really appreciate it.
Comment too. Let us know what you think. Who's your players of the month,
Absolutely.
man? Let's start a combo.
All right, let's jump into the NL. Brian, start us off with an honorable mention.
Well, actually, I'm just going to go for it.
Okay.
So I didn't have any honorable man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's players that are deserving of it.
Okay.
I'll throw a rookie in there. I'll start here as an honorable mention. He's going to show back up, obviously, later in the list. But Miami's Jacob Marseille. That kid has been ridiculous this month.
Yep.
If that is what he is going to be, then they have a center fielder that they're going to trade somewhere very shortly.
With Stowers.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, that kid is just electric on both. I mean, he can play defense, and if he hits like this, I don't expect him to hit at a 352 clip.
Correct.
But, 300, and this kid's going to be a superstar.
Absolutely.
So there's my honorable mention.
Okay.
Wow.
I had him as an honorable mention as well. The kid's been insane. Joey Ortiz actually had a much better month this year. He's had a very rough year. So I'll actually I'll show Milwaukee a little bit of love on this one. And then I had Brenton Doyle on there as well.
He had a good month.
And shout out to that guy because he's still going hard for a team that is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
We're talking they're borderline, going to be in the record books this year. So, the fact that he put up a 344 average, you would have loved to see the on base a little higher if he's got a 344 average, 382. But he had 7 home runs last month, 22 RBIs. I'll give it to the kid.
It's very Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Only on base when you hit.
Correct.
So my honorable mention, and I feel like I'm going to get crucified, but my honorable mention is actually Kyle Schwarber.
Okay.
Obviously, he's had a crazy month.
Well, one game.
Well, but still.
Yeah, I love the game, but the
fine.
dude was like 0 for 20 going into that game in the course of August.
He still comes out of the month with the most homers. He's got 12. The next person is Soto with 10 and Bryce Terang at 10. So
but
that's why he's an honorable mention for me.
Yeah,
the game, that one game.
The
one game
just
solidified
sold
it.
That's right. 4 home
Corbin
runs.
Carroll is also an honorable mention. He is still just
100%. Perdomo there as well.
Perdomo
he's
as
still
well.
having a
And
great
it
Great
just
year.
baffles me that Arizona is just nowhere near the playoffs, and they have one of the best offenses in the game.
Back-to-back years.
Yeah,
And in their defense, they did go out and try to get pitchers.
They did.
Like,
Just
it's not
didn't
like they
work.
didn't try.
And they all sucked.
Or they got hurt.
They're the Cardinals of the West.
Yes, they tried. That's
Well,
their sticker
we
at the end
didn't
of the
try.
year.
Never mind. I'll take that back. We didn't try.
All right, what's your number 3?
All right, so 3 for me is going to be Trey Turner of Philly.
Okay.
Tremendous month, not year. 336, 3 home runs, 20. And again, this was the thing for me, 20 runs created, kind of going back to that same feel that Bobby Witt has. We know who Trey Turner is. He's going to show up in the big moments. And so I think this is just kind of a precursor to what you're going to see for Philly as they get deeper into September.
Yeah.
And even into October is Turner's going to turn it on. And that's going to be dangerous for a lot of teams.
Yeah. He had a lot less games than a lot of other people, but his month was so good at this point that I did put him on here, and that was Gavin Sheets because he did still play 18 games.
Nice pick.
8 RBIs. You would love to see that a little higher, but once again, it's because he didn't play nearly as many games. And you can only drive guys in if they're on base. But he had a 412 average and a 464 on base percentage with a 1.209 OPS. So
Is that good?
Yeah, not bad is what they will say.
Not bad.
Not bad. So, Gavin Sheets and that San Diego team that's being real pesky for Los Angeles.
Yeah. So my number 3 is actually Trey Turner as well.
Okay.
The thing that impressed me the most and surprised, he's got the best defensive WAR of anybody in the month.
Overall, Turner's year has been phenomenal defensively, and they're like the difference between last year and this year,
Right.
is pretty much exactly what we saw the opposite for Volpe.
Yeah,
Right.
The thing that stood out too, the 20 runs is awesome, but 20 ribbies as well.
Yeah,
10
yeah.
stolen bases. Obviously, that's a part of his game.
Yeah.
But the 17.8% strikeout rate is about maybe like right under average. I think 21 something is average. He's getting a little lucky, but I think that's a tribute to his speed because his BABIP is at 398. But the defense is something that I was just kind of impressed by because he's not supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Right. 3.6 defensive WAR.
Yeah. He's just, I mean, if you look at a season, he's just kind of an average, or his
100%.
history is average defender, but he's playing like,
He wants a Gold Glove.
He does. And
there's no way he
He's
can win
not
it,
going
though.
to get it.
No,
but
we're
yeah,
here.
I know.
That's something with.
If they give him out for a month, he might get it.
Yeah, that's true. All right. What'd you got at number 2?
All right, number 2. This is where some people might push back. I put Francisco Lindor here
No, that's solid.
at number 2.
Okay.
350, 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, 26 runs.
Yep.
Now, some of that has been inflated because he's getting driven in on some deep balls because the Mets have started to find their offense a little bit again.
Yep.
But he's getting on base.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, his defense plays. To me, he is the most important player on the Mets.
I agree.
Bar none. Even over Soto.
I
think
agree.
if he is the one that this is going to be him,
Yeah.
then it's going to be fun to watch the end of the season
Yeah.
between Philly and New York and how that plays out.
Yeah.
It makes me sick to have another Milwaukee guy on here, but Bryce Terang had a heck of a month, and he's a big reason why Milwaukee keeps winning games. Not a guy traditionally known for power, but he had 10 home runs in the month, 24 RBIs, took 9 walks, which is not terrible. 3 stolen bases. Like to see that a little higher because he's a guy that definitely has the speed to do it.
Didn't have to. He was rounding the bases.
Well, that's also true. But the average at 343, 398 on base, with a 1.092 OPS. Great month out of Terang. Like I said, I hate saying it because I'm not a Milwaukee guy, but he was
You're in good company.
to me, he's the big guy. The reason why Milwaukee had extended their streak like they did, because there was a lot of games where it's like all of a sudden he just came up with this massive home run at a huge moment of the game.
Especially when what's his name is on the IL.
Yep.
On the IL.
Yeah, he didn't get back till the end of the month.
Yeah. So my number 2 is Jacob Marcy.
Okay.
Dude, he's crazy.
yeah, I told you.
Holy cow.
Right.
Way to go, kid.
Yeah, for
Right.
real. He's got the most WAR of everybody on the list.
They want VS2? I'll trade him straight up right now.
Now you're
twisting.
Look at
you're
it.
twisting
I
his
know,
wrist.
I don't know if I would.
That's why I wanted to say it because I knew it mess with him.
I don't know. Man, he's had a good season. 629 slug.
Yep.
Only 4 homers, but 629 slug and only 4 homers means holy cow, he's rounding the bases like crazy.
Yes.
Doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles. High K percentage, but it's a rookie, so
You're going to see that.
it's gonna
Unless you're
happen.
Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, that's the only one.
The Athletics are an anomaly, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, to everything that you said about him in your honorable mention, man, holy cow.
Yeah.
Miami is kind of like
They're a sleeper. They have some players if they choose to
Yeah.
hold
they've
on
got
to them.
fantastic
That's if they
pitching.
hold on
Right.
to him.
That's always the big key.
which they never do.
No.
But man, it kind of reminds me of that one dynasty they had. They were like, oh, you could have had it, but you
Right.
got rid of all of them.
Yeah,
Well,
and it looks like they're doing it again. I mean,
Yeah.
you got Stowers in
Correct.
left, him now in center. I mean, like,
Holy cow!
great.
And some young pitching. That's
I was gonna say they got some
elite, so, I mean,
relievers.
they
they
got
got
great
some
young
starters.
Could you
right.
imagine if they could start pulling the crowds like showed up at the World Baseball Classic down there in Miami? for their actual team. Gosh,
Right.
that would be electric.
That'd be fun.
Love it. I'd love
It's
it.
kind of what I imagine the Rays will be maybe in the next couple of years with the ownership changeover. I mean, you never know, but it's a
Right.
Jacksonville billionaire guy. Does he own the Jaguars? No, he's not the one who owns the Jaguars. But supposedly he's interested in investing in the team a lot, and so you never know.
Yeah.
Hit us with the number, the Uno, whatever.
Yeah, no, for me, it's, as much as it pains me to say it, it is Bryce Terang and what he did for Milwaukee.
Sure.
Yeah.
For me, the simple fact is WRC plus is 200. It's the highest in the month.
Sure.
And obviously you look at his numbers, you spoke to it. It's like, I just didn't expect it.
No.
I mean, I knew he was having a good month. Because right now all you see is the power of friendship, highlights. And it was just, but then when I started digging into the numbers a little bit more, I'm like, where did this come from?
Yep.
Like, I just didn't expect it. But, whatever they're feeding them and, whatever, extra, all natural supplements that I'm sure is going on in
100%.
Milwaukee.
It's the cereal. What was
Right.
the cereal back in the day?
Right.
Kellogg's box or whatever.
Whatever it is, just keep doing it.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
you keep proving everybody wrong because I'm still, I still don't know that I'm a full believer in what they can do
Agreed.
in the postseason. But what a fun regular season it's been.
See, the question for me I have is Terang has been so good. Why is he still sitting where he's sitting in their lineup? Because they started
he's so good.
after that Cubs series. They obviously started to win some, lose some, win some, lose some. To me, you've got to slot him up higher in the batting lineup because they're still slotting this guy down at like 7 or 8 in the lineup.
Maybe he's just comfortable, and that's why
maybe,
he's getting
maybe
the numbers
he is.
that he is getting.
Maybe he is, but especially come October, this guy, if he's hitting like this, has
You
to
gotta
be
move
sitting
him
in
up.
like your
Right,
2 or
right.
3 hole.
I disagree.
The rest of these guys from Milwaukee aren't going to play like this.
No.
That's what I'm saying. If you're
he's
getting
not
this
gonna
out
play
of
like
Bryce,
this.
most
No,
likely
I
not.
don't
But if
think
you're
he's
getting that
gonna.
out of him, you have to move him up in the lineup.
Yeah.
I went with Lindor here just because his numbers were so crazy.
Yeah.
So the guy had 117 at-bats in the month, scored 26 runs, 41 hits, like ridiculous. This 12 the 12 walks plus the 9 stolen bases was big for me. That's where it separated for Terang and him, and his strikeout. Even though he had more at-bats, he actually had less strikeouts than Terang did. So, his numbers were ridiculous. And the Mets actually started to win a few games there in August where they were not winning any the last couple weeks of July into the early parts of August. So
Lindor's had a really solid season. He's being paid for it.
he is.
Well, like I said, he's the face of that. I mean,
is.
despite how much money they sent for Soto, he is the heart and soul. He is
correct.
like, I would venture to say Soto's going to sell his jerseys
yeah.
out there, but true Mets fans will have a Lindor jersey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and he's the whole package. I mean, like he's a very, very good defender.
Yeah.
He's a really smart base runner too.
He
He's never going to
is.
have like 40 to 50 stolen bases, but the caught stealing rate's really, really low.
Yep. And he's a guy that's got a lot of playoff experience too.
Yes.
And a guy that shows up too. So let's.
Best call of all time.
Oh gosh.
So Terang is also my number one
Sure.
pick. I did not realize how unreal his month was being, and it is not sustainable whatsoever.
No.
But the fact that his ISO has a 3 in front of it is ridiculous. 694 slug,
Yeah.
super high, 200 WC plus. He's kind of a bad defender. Is he third or short?
Terang's a second
Second.
baseman.
Second baseman. Okay.
Yeah.
Only 3 stolen bases, which I think is kind of low for that team because all of them run quite a
It's
bit.
like I said, he was rounding the
Yeah.
bases a lot
Yeah.
more this month.
Yeah, to your point. But man,
You want to know something kind of funny? Bryce Terang won the Gold Glove last year, actually,
At second.
at second
I
base.
believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. It's because he's putting all of his mental energy into smoking the ball.
He's starting to hit the ball, so he's like, forget about defense.
I don't need
I don't care if we
defense.
lose
Somebody
a run.
else start playing some
Right.
defense.
Yeah.
I'm the power guy
That's
now.
right. That's right.
Man, he's having an unreal season, and let's hope it's not sustainable.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's jump into starters for the month. If you have any honorable mentions, throw them, or if you wanted to start with the 3.
Well, I do have one honorable mention, and that is Cade Horton. He probably should be in my top 3, but because he's a rookie, I just kind of put him down there. It pains me to talk about a good Chicago Cub, but the fact of the matter is, I mean, he's been electric.
Yeah.
He's been good all year. I mean, he's probably hands down right now the front runner for Rookie of the Year.
Didn't see it coming.
Right. I didn't either. I didn't have this guy on my radar at all. And so with the month that he had, though, I was like, he deserves it. And so I put him there. I mean, he's still, in the ones for an ERA. I mean, it's just crazy.
And what happened if he didn't have to go out of that one game with a blister? Like,
Right.
did the
Right.
Cubs end up winning that game for one? But two, what does he look like after he gives up a couple hits? I think would have been big for him. But no, I had Horton on there as well as an honorable
Homer take.
mention. 100%.
I can say it because I don't
100%.
like the Cubs, but no.
But I also had Luzardo on there.
Yeah.
As well. So.
Yeah. So my honorables are Brady Singer. The only reason he's not on the top 3 is because he got destroyed by the Cardinals. at
That's
the end of the
embarrassing.
month.
That is enough reason not to be on the list.
Yeah. I cannot disagree with you. Ranger Suarez is having a great month. Also, Clayton Kershaw is on my honorable
That's a good
mentions.
call.
He had a great month.
He did.
Legendary guy, Hall of Famer, guaranteed Hall of Famer. Hopefully his last year in the big leagues. He's been bailed out by his defense by quite a bit.
Yeah.
But his numbers are still pretty solid.
Yeah, he's a great regular season pitcher.
And he truly
Yes,
is
he
a pitcher now. You know, he
Yeah,
no longer
yeah,
has
yeah.
that
He doesn't have
stuff.
velo.
And I actually love watching
that
a guy
curveball
like
is still just disgusting.
correct. That's Chapman's the same thing. Like Chapman's had to become a lot more, even though he still
Yeah.
has some velocity. He's had to become a lot more of a pitcher
Yes.
than he used to be. It used to be just, well, for one, nobody used to throw anywhere close to as hard as he does. But it used to be like 2 pitches for him, and it was primarily, I'm going to throw a ball 100 miles an hour, see if you can catch it. But no, I agree. Kershaw's had a really solid month.
Last honorable mention quickly is Hurston Waldrop for Atlanta. He's had a really good month. 0.9 ERA, has the best ERA on the list. K per 9 is 8.7, so it keeps him off. Let's do it.
All right. So my number 3, I'll give a shout out to Paul Skeens. He's not going to be on here, but
Sure.
I mean, he's still doing what he's doing, even though that offense is miserable. So
And he won a couple games.
Right. He deserves, I did look at that. I was like, he was 3-1 in the month.
He actually won a couple games.
He did get some wins there. I actually had in my number 3, Hurston Waldrop from Atlanta, just because of what he was able to do. I mean, it's kind of impressive that we're starting to see some of these young guys that are getting forced kind of into these roles.
Yeah.
That are having the success. Now, again, is it because they're new and there's not a lot of tape out on them? Maybe, but I would like to say that, they have the AAA footage or wherever these guys are throwing at beforehand too. But I mean, it was impressive. Atlanta's been relatively hot. I'm not saying
And
they're like a
considering the
world
amount of guys
beaters.
they've
Right.
lost,
Right.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, so that's why I
They've
put
got an
him
entire
at 3.
team on the IL.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, and to some of the same points you were talking about just a minute ago, Tim, on that. I mean, ridiculous ERA. He's not striking out the world. He's, a pitch to contact, if you will, soft, weak contact, which doesn't tend to bode well. You would think I would run away from that as much as we've seen that this year, but it's working for him. So wanted to give him a little bit of credit.
I took Brady Singer here. A lot of the reasons you had him as an honorable mention. Cincinnati had a very solid August.
Yeah,
they needed Singer to really step up. 4-1 in the month. Went almost 34 innings. Had 39 strikeouts. Basically a 1 whip, which is not terrible. Only about a 200 average. I'd say if they can get that guy and they actually can somehow run down the Mets for that final wild card spot. Cincinnati's going to be a lot of fun if they could get to October.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be
tough.
if they can get there.
They've got one of the hardest schedules, I think.
I think
Top 10 worst.
Milwaukee's got a tough schedule still remaining. Outside of, I think Milwaukee plays the Cardinals twice, so that bodes well for them. But
100%.
I love that Brian's on that boat now too.
But,
It is.
Yeah, Brady Singer.
so my number 3 is Justin Verlander.
Okay.
He's had a horrible season.
Don't hate it.
until the month of August. He's
Yeah.
had a great month of August. Getting his normal rhythm back. His velo is dropping, so he's having to get craftier.
Yep.
But rocking a 10.3 K per 9. Really good. The ERA is sitting at 3.6, but his FIP is sitting at 2.07. So supposedly a good defense of San Francisco is letting him down quite a bit.
Yeah.
But and the home run per 9 rate is also what put him on this list at 0.28, which is really, really solid.
Yeah.
That's a great pick. That's why he looks so good against the Cubs.
It was.
They're 500 now, so they're right behind the Reds.
Yeah. They're there.
They're awful,
But they're there.
but they're there.
Yeah.
So the Mets are awful too right now.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy. So I had a split. I had a tie at my number 2 here, and it
Yeah.
was Christopher Sanchez from Philly,
Okay.
yeah.
and Justin Verlander.
Okay.
I could not separate the two of them just because I did like what I saw out of Verlander, a little bit of a throwback-ish from him for the month.
Fair.
And for me, the reason why Sanchez was at 2 is, I mean, obviously he got hit a little bit. It wasn't as clean of a
Yeah.
month. But I think what he meant with the fact that Nola is not being Nola at all this year,
Yeah.
and then also the loss of Wheeler,
Yeah.
catapulted him to a spot
Yeah.
that put a ton of pressure on him.
Big time.
And
Yeah.
he has lived up to that
Yep.
so far. And I think, if he can continue to do that, I mean, who would have thought we would be sitting here saying Nola might not be who Nola is, Wheeler's not coming back for the Phillies, and they still got a chance
They still
to
got a
win.
legit shot.
Can you imagine a world where their number 1 starter is Christopher Sanchez at the
Right.
beginning of the year?
Right.
For
No.
the first playoff game?
No.
That's wild.
Right.
And at this point, most likely that is going to be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though
You're not
I said
gonna
a couple
start
weeks ago,
Luzardo.
No.
is probably going to be
I mean, you're hoping at this point that Nola figures it out at some
Correct.
point to at least be that 2, maybe 3 at the absolute bottom.
the good news they have for them is because, like you said, you got Luzardo plus Ranger Suarez, and Suarez has
Yeah.
got a lot of playoff experience at this
Right.
point. So it's not like they're out of it, but
No, I wasn't saying they're out of it,
we are
but-
talking 2 legit
Yeah.
playoff
I mean,
pitchers. that-
Wheeler was second in Cy Young last year.
Right.
Been
he was
top
having a
3.
phenomenal year this year.
I
Yeah,
was
he's
going to
having
say he was
phenomenal this
in the
year.
conversation this year.
Big time, deep postseason pitcher.
Was it? I mean, July, he was probably the best pitcher in baseball in July before this whole issue. So,
yeah. You got number 2?
yeah, I actually had Nick Pivetta here. Had a pretty solid month, 2.95
pick.
ERA. Went 37 innings basically, 36 strikeouts, 0.79 whip, and opponents had a 150 average versus the guy. Only thing I would have liked to see a little lower is probably the home runs he's given up. But the fact that he's still got under a 3 ERA, San Diego can definitely score more than 3 runs a game. So not too concerned about that.
And it depends on the day, though. Their offense is so weird.
Yeah, they have the potential, I
Yes,
should
yeah,
say.
that's true.
But yeah, Pivetta had a very nice month.
Yeah.
It's crazy that Boyd was 1-3.
Yeah,
just
but
looking
I
at-
wanted him to be on my list, but I think at the end of the month kind of made him.
Yeah.
it hurt him
He's
for sure.
rocking a 4.5 ERA.
Yeah,
And
He got
a
hit.
lot of that was late game.
Does that
yeah.
scare you, though, going into the late part of the month?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Season?
I have absolutely no idea what the Cubs are at this point. They're either going to be legitimate
I just
contenders
gotta
for the
pick
World
like an
Series or
open
getting
wound.
destroyed in the
I just
opening.
got to pick at an open wound. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
Thus is the life of NL Central teams.
pretty much, honestly.
My number 2 pick was Christopher Sanchez. He was also my Cy Young pick, but my number 1 pick on this list, I think, is going to make it so that he's not winning it. popularity, I think, is a big part of it.
Oh, 100%.
We've talked about that quite a bit. But man, he's having a season and had a great month, and I feel like it came out of nowhere. But maybe it didn't. But
he's always had this stuff. He's just never been able to put it together consistently.
So different environment, whatever. But he's having a great month, and you said it before. So hit us with your number one.
Yeah, my number one, as funny as it is, you guys were kind of dogging him a little bit, but it's Brady Singer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I told you why.
I know. I mean, and I took that. I thought about that, and maybe that part of me was just being wishful. Like, hey, maybe that's just he just doesn't have a good. Kind of like Paul Skeens with the Cardinals, right?
Right.
It just doesn't match up well for whatever reason. I mean, because when you start digging into the numbers, I mean, outside of that one game, I mean, he's the best pitcher of the month.
Okay.
The Reds needed him to be that. He stepped up. Now, I don't know that it's going to make a difference for the Reds getting into the playoffs, but to keep them relevant in the playoff hunt, he was needed.
Yeah, 100%.
And they need that for the fan
agree with
base too, because they've got a lot of these young guys. They need to stay relevant for the playoff picture to build for the years to come.
Sure.
And you can see the pieces are there.
Yes.
And they've lasted longer than they have the last couple of years. They showed a couple bright spots over the last couple of years, but fell off, about the All-Star break.
Right.
Yeah.
This year, okay, they've kind of kept it afloat through August. What's it going to look like in September?
Yeah, and again, low home run numbers, all of that to me, I mean, again, not the highest, but the ground ball rate just under 50%, left on base well over 75%. So to me, he just had a good month. I don't think he's going to be this elite pitcher for an entire season, but I'm going to give him honor in this month.
Okay. What is wrong with me today? I have Freddie Peralta here. He had less innings than the other guys, but the guy was absolutely electric in the month.
He's been so good.
And he's a guy that I've talked badly about on this show. Freddie is such a up and down guy, but the guy had a .32 ERA in 5 starts. He only gave up 11 hits, 1 home run, had 12 walks. So I don't love that. But even with less work, he still had 34 strikeouts on the month with a .82 whip, and opponents had a 117 average versus the guy.
Yeah.
Terang, Peralta, these are two guys that are keeping that the friendship going up in Milwaukee. So
yeah, especially with Trevor McGill, the new Trevor McGill news. But another person on my list later will, I think, take over. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good, brother. You're good. I'm good.
So something that I just thought of before I hit with mine is we talked about Brady Singer a lot, and the best pitcher on the Reds staff wasn't even mentioned. I think Abbott is just
Abbott's been nails this year.
Yeah, he's been great.
He didn't have as great of a month,
right?
I know that's what this is about. But man, they've got young pitching. Holy cow!
Yeah, if Hunter Green can come back and figure it out, right?
We may be talking the same thing we're talking with Philadelphia right now. It's like, okay, well, darn it, we lost this guy, but we still have this guy, and this guy in Cincinnati in a couple years.
If Cincinnati does make it in a wild card, I don't know that there's anybody else in the playoff picture that they don't have better pitching than, if you think about it, in a short 3-gamer. Anyway, my number one pick is Paul Skeens.
Interesting, because he got 3 wins.
I mean, he's
left
still
on base numbers what solidified it for me. 80.8% left on base. Man, he's good. Yeah. He's winning the Cy Young, I think. I think part of it is popularity.
Yep.
Can you imagine him on a good team? I feel like he'd be a Triple Crown perennial. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, the MLB has to hate it, though. The fact that the 2 best pitchers in baseball are both on small market teams in the Midwest.
Right.
Or is it good for MLB? Somebody else decide.
Well, the big markets would say no, but
yeah, 100%. So let's jump to and finish it up before we'll start a couple of other things. But let's do the relief pitcher.
Okay.
And then we'll do rookie of the year.
All right. So I'm just gonna throw out a couple relievers that are
fine.
In the bottom, and then I'll give you who I thought was probably the top. But this is where I'm actually going to go a little bit homer. Matt Swanson, for me, I think he had a tremendous month.
He did.
And that gives me hope because we need some of these young guys, especially the young pitching, to pan out. And so that was a good one. I think Abner Uribe for Milwaukee had a great month as well. A lot of innings on him. Give shout out to Miami once again, Ronnie Henriquez.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid is having a great year as a reliever, and he continues to pop up on these monthly lists. I'll give you credit out there. Brad Keller had a big month. I mean, no runs given up. So anytime you can do that in a month as a reliever is always a big deal.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, for me, it ended up being Atlanta's Iglesias, their closer. I mean, 10 saves in a month.
Yeah.
On a bad team.
On a bad team, right. Like, that's what kind of put me over the top for him. I mean, again, under 1 ERA. So, I mean, he was doing what he was supposed to do. Doesn't have quite the high K per 9, but it's still solid.
Yeah.
All of that. So that's where I ended up landing, was just Iglesias because of that.
Yeah.
I didn't have any honorables on this one, just because I think Iglesias was so much better than everybody else that it wasn't close. So,
Really?
yeah.
So I got quite a few. Savanson is on my list. He's got the highest K per 9 of anybody on the list, which kind of shocked me because he's technically a sinker baller, but a sinker moves like crazy and it's really high velo.
Yep.
Ronnie Enriquez, right? Henriquez, thank you. Is had a great month. Johan Duran is also on my list. He had a great month, 12.10 K per 9 rate, 1.86 ERA, 4.430 FIP, which is also really shocking because, again, Philly's defense is not great.
Yeah.
But
Atlanta had a number of relievers, too, by the way,
They did.
up on that list.
Also, honorable mention is Trevor McGill had a great month, just ended very poorly.
Yeah.
But
Very
I
poorly.
think I had a tough time between these two, and they were split for a while. But now that I think about it more, so Iglesias belongs in the honorable mention category for me. The saves are crazy, but Abner Uribe, holy cow!
Yeah.
And it's also I like to watch him pitch. His personality and his demeanor on the mound. He looks like
he's having fun.
It kind of reminds me of that college pitcher that when he was pitching, he was always sniffing. Thing. He kind of looks like that. You're
Jittery,
like, oh my gosh, dude, you're gonna kill somebody right now, or no, you're just gonna throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Man, he had a great month. He's really fun to watch. 100% left on base, 0 ERA, 0. And I think that's the big thing of why Iglesias didn't take it. It's just Abner. He's got gas. His average fastball is 100.3. That's pretty good. 0 ERA. But they're all great picks.
The big thing for me is, and they're probably going to be thrust into having to make the move, is I want to see him in high leverage situations, as in he's the closer on that
team.
team.
He did get 2 saves. So, I mean, they're starting to your point, because later in the month, they're starting to move him there.
If we're sitting here at the end of September and the kid's got 8 or 9, at the end of this month, I'll say, for sure.
Yeah.
Just because the fact that Milwaukee, where they're scoring all their runs, is basically where he's been pitching, because they're scoring everything late in these games. And so it's like, well, that kind of helps him out too, to feel a little better.
Yeah, you don't know what
let's see what he looks like in the big time pressure. Yeah. The lights are flickering and everything.
Yeah. Man.
But he is very good.
He's shaky. I do got to give you credit. He is. I remember when the Cardinals faced him like a month and a half ago, and we got 2 on base. He ended up getting out of the inning, but it shook him up a little bit, and you could tell he was trying to figure out. So to your point, that would be interesting. Let's round it out with the Rookie of the Month pick, and then we got a couple things I want to talk about, and we will wrap it up.
All right, yeah. So for me, just again, this is where I want to throw Cade Horton out there.
Yeah.
Tremendous year, and again, yet another good month. Mm-hmm. I think the only right thing for me is rookie is going to be Jacob Marseille from Miami. I mean, it's just, he has to have the Rookie of the Month. I mean, when you're talking about a player as a rookie in potential for just overall Player of the Month, he has to be your Rookie of the Month. And so, if you want to rewind back a little bit and hear me falling in love with this kid, you can do that. But I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking more about him. But just the simple fact that 2.1 WAR. the best WAR of anybody positionally. So that's my rookie of the month.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. I wanted to put Horton here, just because of how great he has been, especially the second half of the year. But overall, he's just had a very good year. But I mean, I will point out he had a 1.2 ERA in the month out of a starting pitcher for a team that is in serious playoff contention.
Yep.
Where arguably their best pitcher had his worst month. And
Yeah,
Boyd,
he picked it up a little bit.
Horton pretty much shut down any team getting on a big run behind Boyd with Horton coming in. So, but yeah, it's not close. That kid from Miami is nails this month.
Right.
Yeah. Marcy was my pick as well. I feel like Isaac Collins deserves a shout out.
Yeah.
He's having a great rookie. Had a great rookie month. But yeah, Marcy's clear in the winner. Do you think will Marcy have played enough of the month to have a rookie of the year lock?
No.
I don't think so.
When did he get called up? Was it in August, beginning of August, or was it July?
I want to say it was towards the end of July.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't think he's going to collect enough to qualify
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, so Marcy was my pick.
And like I said, I think what Cade Horton has done all year is pretty much locked him in, unless he legitimately blows up for the month of September.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a pretty odds-on favorite.
Yep.
Even if you look at the betting odds, a lot of
Everyone's
them are
starting to realize
Baldwin,
him.
right?
Yeah, I would say Baldwin's in that. I mean, Shaw may kind of sneak inside the top 4 or 5.
I was going to say, Shaw,
the
big thing you're going to see, his defense is popping off right now, and he's catching a lot of attention on top 10s and stuff right now. He'd have to have an insane month to even
he's
be
gonna have to hit
sniffing
close
it,
to
and you're going to need
400 for the
Baldwin
month.
struggling.
Yeah.
Probably. But to me, Horton's been so solid all year. You know, everybody was talking about the Miz. Oh, he's been so great and stuff. But
He has fallen off.
Horton doesn't have the quite the velocity the Miz does.
Yeah.
But Horton's the guy that you're like,
been
this
steady.
guy could be
The Miz.
definite.
Miz. Les Miz.
1-2 guy in our rotation in the future, which the Cubs hoped that was going to be the case. When they drafted him, but he had to have surgery, and so his innings had been limited. So really didn't know what you were going to get out of him this year, and he's just been electric.
So it'd be something interesting. I know it shouldn't be, but the of the year candidates, WAR is a pretty big factor in it between the voters, and it's something interesting to compare. Cade Horton's month, who had a stellar month, like elite month, we'd say, right?
Yep.
Accumulated 0.8 WAR, and Baldwin, who had a kind of mid
average
month, accumulated 0.6 WAR.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting at the end of the month. All right, before we wrap this up, I just wanted to talk about address the standings a little bit. We are starting the September stretch. And I think some teams they've not necessarily jumped each other from when we talked last because we had a break. But I do think it's interesting. So in the AL picture, the Tigers are still leading the AL overall, and obviously the Central. The Blue Jays are still leading the East, but there are teams behind them catching up. The Astros are leading the West. The wild card picture is now the Yankees are sitting at 76 and 61 in the first spot. The Red Sox are sitting at 77 and 62. So they're below because the percentage is just slight because they have one more loss. They've played one more game. The Mariners are sitting at 73 and 64. So behind them, let's talk about the race real quick. The Rangers are sitting at 71 and 67 in fourth. The Royals in fifth at 70 and 67, and the Guardians in sixth at 68 and 68 even. I feel like after our conversation last time, I'll give my opinions and I'll let you guys go. I feel like the Guardians have solidified themselves as a dropout. The Royals have gotten hot. Their run differential is at a -3. And it was in the -20s or negative high teens, I think, when we spoke last. So they're making a statement. And to your guys' point, Caglianone's hurt. You never know what He wasn't great because he's still
Yeah,
figuring
he
it
was
out.
still struggling,
But you
yeah.
never know what he's going to be, what that will do also for the team.
True.
The Rangers have gotten above 500 by 4 games, and they are 2.5 behind the Mariners. So my question still stands. Who do you think the last 3 wild card in the AL is going to be? I don't think you guys could change my mind. I don't think the division leaders are changing. Or do you?
Detroit, obviously, there's no way they're giving the division up.
No,
Correct.
Detroit stays.
Toronto, that one's interesting just because you have the Yankees who are coming off of like a 7-game winning streak or something.
Yeah.
And then Boston, who also has gone on a couple of 10-game winning streaks and look like they're rounding into shape of a definite playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say that Toronto for sure has that on lock. Especially because they've played 500 ball over the last 10. Houston, Seattle's kind of limping right now. So Houston, I'd say in order I would go Detroit most confident, Houston second most confident that they're going to hold the division, and then Toronto. Even though Toronto has more wins than Houston, I think Seattle also has the concern that they're going to be looking over their shoulder with Texas playing the way they are right now. And I hope it doesn't happen because I want to see Seattle get to the playoffs because I think they'd be a lot of fun there. But I'm worried that they're going to be looking over their shoulder saying, "Uh-oh, Texas is right here." So yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, man, this is tough, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think at the end of September, Toronto is fighting for that third and final wild card spot with Texas.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I think it is going to come down to the last week to really solidify Seattle and Houston, because I think Seattle's going to find a way to catch fire here.
Could.
And Houston's just going to play Houston ball. Like they're not going anywhere. Like I don't want to deceive anybody. I still think they're probably the best team.
Yep.
Because of their experience going into this late run.
Yep.
But you're right. Detroit has no worry. They're
way anybody's catching
solidified
them in
right
that
there.
division.
They're good. I mean, they can continue to play, 400 ball and they're going to be just fine.
Yep.
I hope they don't.
Correct.
But, they could and they'll be okay. Toronto just screams, even though, I talked about Bo Bichette and what he's been able to do. They just scream to me because of their pitching that they are going to hit this skid of where they go 3-7, over the next 10, and they do that twice.
Yeah, I could see it.
And then all of a sudden, so you're talking 6-20 in the last month, essentially. And that's it. Toronto.
Yeah.
And they're down. Then Texas and them are right there, neck and neck for that third wild card. So then essentially, I think right now, because of the way they're playing, I think Boston sneaks up to the division lead. I think the Yankees hold pat pretty solidified as that first wild card spot.
Okay.
And then it's going to be whoever doesn't win it between Houston and Seattle into the second, and then Texas and Houston are going to have, or Texas and Toronto are going to have a battle.
How long's Seager down?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'll find out.
Because that's to me a huge piece for Texas. Because not only is he by far their best player, he's their best playoff performer as well.
It's probably his standard 15-day.
Honestly, and he'll step in and bat 450 in the playoffs.
He'll come back and it'll be lights out. I mean, I think the positives for Texas right now is it looks like Langford's starting to figure something out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got Simeon. Their pitching has been healthy, other than Evaldi. I know that's a big hurt.
Another big blow, yes.
That hurts tremendously.
Leiter's been really good, though.
Yep. So I'm hoping, that he's kind of picks up that feel. And so that's why I come to that term. I think, as far as Kansas City, I think they're on a good run, but I just don't think they have enough in the tank get back in it. It would be fun to see them.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're going to overtake Texas. I don't think they'll be able to get past like whoever's in that third spot. I mean, you're talking about a 9-game swing if what I'm saying is coming to pass, because that means Toronto is going to be sliding down and these other teams are going to be stepping up.
Yeah.
So I just don't see that from Kansas City. I have more faith in Texas to go on this wildly insane run because of their pitching.
Is there a world
potential offense?
You could see the Yankees sliding at all?
If this were a couple weeks ago,
yeah.
That
7-game winning streak helped them big time.
Yeah.
But it seems like they've at least turned the corner to be able to say, okay, we do realize we have to at least, play some defense.
And you look back and you go, what happened then? Oh, yeah, Aaron Judge came back.
Exactly.
So,
so for me, I think they'll be able to do enough to hang in there. Maybe Houston, Seattle, whoever's misses out on the division might end up overtaking and becoming the top wild card seed, and the Yankees are right there below them. But I still think the Yankees have enough to kind of hold on to that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I really think it's to me, the two teams that are going to be fighting outside is just Toronto and Texas. Those are the two teams.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so I'm going to throw a wrinkle into the whole thing. I don't think 3 teams from the West make it. And I guess to your point, I do agree it's going to be 2 teams, but I think it's actually going to be the Blue Jays and the Astros fighting for the number 6 spot.
You think Seattle's going to make that big of a jump?
No, I think the Rangers are going to make that big of a jump.
That's a homer pick.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Well, I'm looking at their schedule. So they play Houston. They play 2 series against Houston in the month of September. They have a winning record against them.
But to do that, they're going to probably have to go. Are they both 3-game series?
Yes, they're both 3-gamers.
So they're going to have to go 5-1, 4-2 in order to make that happen.
Let me tell you why that's not going to happen. They have
Tell me why that's not going to happen.
They have 4 series on the road. And
yeah, they have a losing record on the road.
3 of them are against playoff teams.
Yes. But the thing is, the Rangers have a record of 28-42. Is that above 500 or below 500?
Are we talking on the road?
The alligator teeth towards the number.
They're below 500 on the road.
Below 500
They're
on the road.
well above at
No.
home.
Against, is it above 500 teams or below 500
Alligator
teams?
would be going towards the number on the left side if they've got above 500.
This is like second grade math.
Okay,
We're trying
to
figure out here right
you're
now.
killing me.
So they're 5 games back of the Astros. The Astros are 6-4 in the last 10. The Mariners are 500 in the last 10, but the Rangers are 8-2 in the last 10. They have a plus 92 run differential. The Astros have a plus 20 run differential. They are winning 1-run games, 2-run games, whereas now the offense of the Rangers are blowing up like crazy. So the Astros are just on a stretch where they're kind of like they're just making it, and the Rangers are exploding, and the Mariners are like, eh.
If you told me they were going to overtake Seattle, I can see a world in which that happens.
Yeah.
Just because Seattle is playing kind of meh right now.
Yeah.
Now, I could see the Dumper having another extraordinary month here, especially with Julio starting to kind of go off. I just don't see a world in which they catch Houston. They're 5 games back already, and Jordan's back. Hunter Brown is pushing for a Cy Young potentially right now.
Yeah.
Fromber's been phenomenal all year. Like I said, Seattle, I could see potentially.
Toronto,
I just don't see there's any way they're catching the division race.
Are they at home more than away?
Toronto?
The final month of the season?
So the schedule, as soon as it loads.
Because
they have...
most teams play better at home.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
They're about 500 away.
They are.
Yeah, Texas has a really bad low record, but again, the month of August, that is different than their season record.
Sure.
That's the thing I'm pointing out.
Who'd they play
They're playing the Diamondbacks right now.
Definitely another team that could put up runs.
Yeah.
And that's I don't know if
Leiter 3-0.
I don't know if I don't know if Leiter's going to any of those games, but I would not want to see Arizona if I was the Rangers with Leiter on the mound, because you need him with a lot of confidence going into October. And Arizona is a team that definitely could beat you up a lot. So
here's what I think is going to happen, and then we'll move to the National League. I think Boston is going to end up winning the East, and the Yankees are going to just make the wild card. And then I think it's probably going to be Houston and the Rangers. I could give or take which one wins the division, which one wins the seed. But I don't
big
at the moment.
jump.
I don't see the Mariners making it.
I mean, you're talking.
If you say Houston wins the division and the Rangers are 2.5 behind them, that I would.
You're talking.
I would take that
5-game swing.
They're only 2.5 back for the Mariners right now.
Yeah, of the wild card.
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
talking about them fighting with Houston.
6 games, man.
That's a 5, but that's
6
a 5
games in
That's why I
September.
said they have to essentially
sweep.
go 5-1, almost 6 and sweep both series.
yeah, and you're going
in
to have
order
to
to
take
close
probably
that
2
gap.
of 3 versus Milwaukee
Because
or
if
the
you
Mets.
just if you split that series, you gain no ground
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So the Astros are 6-4 in the last 10, which is a winning record, obviously, but their run differential is dropping because their offense is slumping right now. The Rangers' offense is exploding.
But their pitching is just starting to go a little bit further down.
Totally true. But man, it's 1 month left.
Oh, I know.
There's a
That's what
lot-
makes it fun.
There's so much that can happen.
That's what
in
makes
this
it
thing.
fun.
There's
but
just no team I trust more than Houston.
Jordan's back.
Jordan, give him a couple weeks to ramp
he's
up. and-
swinging.
The Rangers beat them.
Yeah, but
And they got knocked out by the Tigers in the first round last year.
yeah.
I
mean,
still trust
again,
Houston more than any other team.
That's fair. That's fair, especially with Correa back. That's just going to be a fun watch for me.
Oh,
I think
100%.
the AL is way more exciting
Than the NL.
But we'll
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up with the NL. So the Cubs are leading. The Brewers are leading all of the National
That
League
was a tease.
with 85 and
What
54.
a guy.
The Phillies are leading the East, 80 and 58. The Dodgers are leading the West with 70 and 59. The wild card looks like Cubs are the number 1 seed, or the number 4 seed at 79 and 59. The Padres are 76, 61. And they've fallen a little bit. The Mets are still somehow hanging on.
The rest of the NL is
They don't have any desire to
horrid and
win.
suck.
It's
That's what they
horrid.
are. So in the picture, I would say we do have to include, because it's technically true, the Reds are are four back of the Mets. I don't know.
You can say it. This one is not changing. The only difference may be positionally as far as
the only chance is if the Mets somehow go on another 13 out of 15 stretch that they lose.
And that's the thing. I don't put it past them to do that.
That's fair. Of those teams, I don't trust the Mets at all.
But I mean,
The
Cincinnati's
Reds, Giants,
3 and
Diamondbacks,
7 in
and the
their
Cardinals
last
are all
10.
in a game and a half of each
They
other.
were really hot
So
early
they're
in the month.
falling apart.
Yeah.
Who?
The Reds, they're falling
Yes,
apart.
they're all falling apart. The Giants.
The Giants are hot, so I
I
will
still don't
give
trust
them.
the Giants though.
But I mean, they're 5 games
They
back.
have a winning record against the Mets, though.
Right. So I mean,
So do we. So let me
We're
say
not
this: the
getting
Reds,
it.
Giants, Snakes, and the Cardinals are all within a game of each other, but those guys are all within 4 to 5.5 games of the Mets. So that's the question I wanted to pose: are the
Yeah.
Mets going to go on another horrible stretch?
No.
You don't think so? You think they're solidified?
I want to say they've got an easier schedule remaining, if I remember correctly. So I doubt it.
I think they're just going to hold pat. I don't think they're going to overtake Philly. I think Philly wins the East.
Yep.
I
would
think
lock that
obviously the Brewers are going to win the Central. I don't think they go on a massive enough skid that's going to be able to erase the deficit for the Cubs.
If the Cubs would have taken and stayed hot last week, like they were the 2 weeks prior, I could have seen a world in which they caught Milwaukee, just because Milwaukee was kind of starting to teeter a little bit.
Yeah.
And that once again, that looking over the shoulder thing, especially for a team that for the last 2 months has basically been the best team in baseball.
But we said it all already too.
Yep.
Milwaukee's got a very easy schedule for the most part coming down the stretch. A lot of it because they got to play the Cardinals for 6 games.
Yep.
So
that does help.
That's a 6-game win streak right there.
So let me pose the secondary question: does the World Series favorites change to you with the injuries that are happening? Because if you look at the above 500 records of all of these teams, the Brewers are sitting at 43-30 against teams over 500. The rest of the teams, let me say one more. Let me correct myself. The Dodgers are the only other team that have a high above 500 record at 39-33. Everybody else is at 500 or right under 500.
Yeah.
Or right about 500.
Yeah. Like I told you, I don't believe in the Brewers as contenders.
Yeah.
I still think, as crazy as it sounds, I don't even think they have a chance to lose their division, but I still think they're the best team, and that's the Dodgers. I think they could potentially go into the wild card slot because I think San Diego could potentially catch them, but just because of who they have, Yamamoto is figuring it out all of a sudden.
He's gotten nasty. Nastier.
And then Snell's back now throwing. You got Kershaw, who has had an electric month. I'm not saying he's going to be any good in the playoffs. That's not his MO, but I mean the pitching that they have, because
Ton of depth.
Ohtani's going to be completely different by then.
Their entire roster comes back from the IL.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Before October.
And so, I mean, Freddie Freeman's starting to get hot again. The only outlier to that is we haven't really seen Betts figure it out.
Yeah.
Weird. So weird, too.
Right.
Because he was
gotten better.
arguably probably the most consistent of
Yeah.
those guys.
And probably the most important with being the table setter.
Honestly, as good as Ohtani is and as important, he kind of reminds me a lot of Lindor. Like the value he brings defensively plus his offense is insane to that team. And he's just one of those big hit guys.
If he never would have left right field, man, I think he'd be so much better.
I agree. I think it was a mistake.
I mean, I would love nothing more than to see San Diego just take this whole NL by storm.
I don't think they can, man. They have a losing record against the Dodgers this year.
I know. That's what I say. I would love it just because I'd love to see Tatis on that stage.
That
Which
would be
tells
so
me,
fun.
yes. Which tells me there's some sort of mental game going on when the two face each other. Because I remember the Dodgers' really bad stretch. Then they played the Padres, and it's like the Padres didn't know how to play baseball anymore. And the Dodgers were just like, oh, yeah, they're the best team. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, well, you guys have heard the locked in for the week standings. It is that time of the month. Baseball season is coming to a close, so we will see. Keep your eyes peeled on probably the AL more than the NL because the NL is pretty boring.
Yeah, it's probably staying pat.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for listening. We will see you with the next episode.